welcome mindsetters. Welcome to Learn Extra Live. As you know, I'm Katleho and this is Llewellyn. How are you, Llewellyn?
Right in yourself, Kat.
Good, thanks. What's up today? We're doing human reproduction, eh?
Yes, a lot of fun.
Awesome. Tell us more about that.
Well, we'll get there. I'm just gonna start off here and there, and we'll take it as it comes.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. While you go to your board, let me tell them how to get a hold of us. As you guys already know, facebook.com/Learn Extra, guys. On Facebook, please go crazy. This is what the show is about. Ask any questions that you wish to ask. I know you grade 12s have a lot of questions on human reproduction. So utilize this time very well because we are here for you. Also, you know, Twitter at Learn Extra. Guys, also on Twitter, make sure that all your questions are clear, concise, so that we can deal with every single one of them during this show. As you know, time goes really fast when you're having fun. So from the start of the show, shoot your question or anything that you want to say to us, perhaps how your exams were, if you're writing prelims, how they're going, if you're going to write them. Let us know everything, guys. We are here for you. Over to you, Llewellyn.
Good evening. I hope you've had a good day, and let's see if we can help you with some of this difficult sections, but it can be a lot of fun. Just relaxing, we'll take it from there. We're going to have a look at human reproduction. Now, you can have a lot of fun with it, and some people get a bit giggly in that, but we're all grown-ups, and let's see if we can get it right. First thing we're going to have a look at is where human reproduction comes in. Okay, we need to make the gametes. Now, gametes are very important, right? Without the gametes, we're not going to be making any children, because that's the whole point of human reproduction, is to make new humans, okay? So what I have here, if you have a look, I have this side and I've got that side. This side are the men. This side are the ladies, okay? If you have a look, the men are normally very, very easy. Now, we are simple things, us men. I don't know why people think that men are very complicated. Very, very easy and simple to understand. If you have a look at it, we start off with one cell, we go through mitosis first, and then we go to meiosis as well. Okay, so you get your haploid cells right at the bottom, which of course are your sperm cells. But the female, they are difficult. Right? They are complicated. They always have been, and they're wonderful people, and that is why we love them, because women are complicated. Otherwise, we wouldn't love them. So let's get it right.
Complicated as in smarter, right?
I wouldn't say that, but we're there, which is nice. I like that. Female, or should I say the female race, right? They actually end up with 4 cells, as you can see. Let's get a yellow here. There's the one. There's another, and then your last big one, right? They have 4 cells. The problem is only one can get fertilized. Only one, right? Whereas a male, they make all 4 cells. There they are. And all 4 can be used, okay? The nice thing about the lady is 4 are made, 1 is being used, the other help the big one to survive, okay? They are polar cells almost. Right? They help the other one survive. So that is just a roundabout way. Now, as I said, the males are just your meiosis stages. It's simple, it's basic. The ladies are different. So let's go through to the ladies. Okay? Oogenesis. Remember, males are spermatogenesis, and oogenesis are the females. Right. Let's start off with the complicated things. Right? How do we start this whole section off, right? We start off with the brain, right? The most complicated thing in the body. Start off with the brain. Now, the brain, this whole section starts off with the hypothalamus. Now, the hypothalamus is, as you can see, I'm sure I've still got yellow here. There it is, the hypothalamus, right? Sure. The hypothalamus is very simple, right? All it does is it gives a nice, how do I say it? Gives all the hormones. It's the starting block, right? That hypothalamus sends a specific hormone, GnRH, okay? Gonadotrophin hormone. Gonadotrophin hormone tells another part of the brain to do something else. So it's like a relay team. I start over here, we pass it on to the next one, and we grab it from there, right? Pituitary gland is where it takes it to. So GnRH, okay, your gonadotrophin hormone, goes all the way to the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland sends another hormone. That hormone starts the whole process down here at the bottom. So we started at the top, right, where everything always starts, and we're sending it down to the bottom where the most complicated things happen. Now, the hormone that is sent down is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Now, follicle stimulating hormone says its name actually tells you exactly what it does, right? Exactly what it does. So let's get over there. Got the brain here again, right? I tell you where the pituitary gland is, and now we're going to say exactly what the pituitary gland does. It sends this FSH down to the ovary. Now what I've done is I've got a nice ovary here. I've just got the ovary. I've forgotten about the fallopian tubes, and I'm not worried about them. We need to find oogenesis, and the oogenesis happens in that ovary. The ovary is where everything happens. Now, follicle stimulating hormone, we start off by making a follicle. Follicles get produced in the ovaries, right? The ovaries are the most important thing in this whole section. Start off by follicle stimulating hormone. It stimulates, okay? It stimulates a follicle from being made, okay? The hormone, which is a follicle stimulating hormone, stimulates a follicle to be made. So we're starting off with these little things over here, and they're called follicle. They get a bigger name as we go on, but it's called a follicle. Very, 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 very easy. Okay, the follicles, as we're growing with the follicles, the follicle becomes a Graafian follicle. Graafian follicles start producing its own hormones, right? So far, hormones that we've made are your GnRH, gonadotrophin hormone. You get your FSH, which is your follicle stimulating hormone, remember, making a follicle, or should I say, making a Graafian follicle. And then this Graafian follicle starts producing its own hormones. Now, there's a reason why it does hormones, why it makes a certain hormone. It makes that hormone that all ladies are proud of. It's called estrogen. That's their hormone. They want that hormone. It's their specific hormone, and they need that hormone, right? Estrogen. Now, estrogen, there he is. Estrogen does a specific thing, okay? Does two jobs. First of all, it tells the pituitary gland, this big thing over here, it tells the pituitary gland to stop making FSH. Can you tell me why we want to stop FSH? Kate, can you give me a clue?
Probably for less estrogen or more estrogen. I'm not sure.
Okay, so the estrogen is being produced by the follicle,
okay,
right? And we're sending it up to the pituitary gland to stop something. It needs to stop something. What do you think it is? Can you give me a clue?
let me ask the learners. And
Please have a look. And I'll leave it up. I won't tell you immediately what one of the things are that it does. The second thing it does, it's very simple, okay? It starts making that wall. You know the endometrium wall? Now, an endometrium wall is found, let me see if I can get a different color here, which is quite nice. This part here, it starts making that part there. Can you see all those little dark red marks? Okay, it starts making or building that up. That is called your endometrium wall, right? Your endometrium wall is sort of blood. Okay, it's nutrients. It starts packing up on those on the sides of the uterine wall, and it makes an endometrium. Okay, don't forget that word. Endometrium is very important. Makes a nice big thick layer of endometrium wall. That is what estrogen does. It starts off slowly. Remember, it's small. And remember, in the beginning, we had small little Graafian follicles over here, if you can remember. And they got made by FSH, and they're moving along, and they're getting bigger and bigger. Okay, Graafian follicle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it's getting bigger, it's making more and more and more estrogen. Kate, have you got an answer?
Not yet. I'm still waiting.
Still
upon
waiting.
An answer. Yes, I think.
Hopefully you've actually tried it, but I'm going to give it now because we want to move on. We want to get somewhere today. Okay.
Oh, we've got an answer.
Do we have an answer?
Tell me if this is right. Lutendo says it tells the pituitary to stop releasing FSH.
Very nice. There we go.
Awesome.
Sorry. It's the FSH. They need to stop it. Okay, the reason why we stop FSH is because FSH stimulates a new follicle from being made. Now, can you imagine having this follicle going, this Graafian follicle being made, and all of a sudden another Graafian follicle being made? So we're going to, at the end, have one egg pop out into the fallopian tube, right? And then we have another egg coming along later. That means you can be pregnant now, and all of a sudden pregnant again. That's just not going to work, okay? So we need to stop FSH from being made by the pituitary gland. I'm sure we all got that now. Next thing. As you can see, I was telling you, as estrogen is being made, it starts off very little, and it gets more, and it gets more, and it gets more. And as it's getting more, you will notice that the endometrium actually gets thicker and thicker and thicker. Has to get thick. What is that endometrium wall for? Try and give me an answer if you can. Kat, if you don't mind,
Yes.
send it out there again and let them send me another answer if they can.
Okay, sure. I'm going to ask them.
The whole point of this, we'll find out now from one of you learners. Hopefully you're paying attention. So as the estrogen gets more and more and more, the endometrium wall gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. If you've noticed, the estrogen levels, remember, they've gotten more and more, and as you can see, these Graafian follicles have become bigger. Now, as they're getting bigger, right, they're producing more estrogen. Now, have you noticed, I keep saying this estrogen word. It's very important, estrogen. As they get bigger, they produce estrogen. But now, the same thing in everything that we have. As soon as it becomes too much, something happens. When estrogen becomes too high, the pituitary gland picks it up. So as soon as estrogen becomes to this level, so it's rising from down here and it's moving all the way up. And remember, I'm not talking about the brain here. I'm just talking about all over the body. As the estrogen levels come from a low level and it rises to a higher level, as soon as it reaches its peak, its main peak, the pituitary gland says, hey, hold on, but we need to get rid of something. These things are getting way too big for the body. We need to get rid of them, right? And remember, inside these Graafian follicles, that is where the egg is being made. As you can see, there's the egg inside. There it is. There's the egg. All the eggs are being made. As soon as it's producing a lot of estrogen, right, the pituitary gland says, hold on, we need to get rid of this little thing. So we're going to send a hormone called LH. Now, LH is a luteinizing hormone, okay? It tells this Graafian follicle to burst, right? It makes the Graafian follicle burst. Now, when it bursts, something very, very special happens. What is it? Think about it. What is it? When this thing bursts, leaves the ovary and goes into, as you remember, the fallopian tubes, okay? As it goes into the something goes into the fallopian tubes. Why does it burst? It releases the egg, so that the egg can go and get fertilized. Plain and simple. Kat, you got an answer for me for that other thing?
Not yet. I'm still waiting. Guys, please answer the question.
I'm hoping that you guys are more glued to the TV than trying to answer the question. So I'm hoping that this is working. As it bursts, the ovary, the egg cell gets sent up into the ovary. Okay? Now that bursting is caused by luteinizing hormone. Okay? Luteinizing hormone changes the whole thing completely. This whole Graafian follicle, it changes it into a thing called the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. Now remember that this has been producing estrogen all the way across, producing estrogen, and as it bursts and lets go of the egg cell, we change its name into something called the corpus luteum. Okay. Corpus luteum, let's get this back. The corpus luteum, pituitary gland, let's get there, there it is. the corpus luteum, as I said, it bursts. There it goes. It releases this ovule, this egg, into the fallopian tube. Now, that fallopian tube is going to make the egg travel all the way up, get fertilized, and then straight into the uterus, right, where hopefully we can make a child. Because that's the whole point of human reproduction, not just to just let everything go. And if nothing happens, we need to get rid of it. Okay, so right now we're talking about this whole thing here. As it's burst, it becomes the corpus luteum. All the way down. Remember, corpus luteum has also got a job to play. This corpus luteum that we have actually starts getting smaller and smaller, but it produces another hormone. Another hormone. Now, so far we've ended off with a few kinds of hormones. We've got GnRH, which is gonadotrophin hormone. We've got FSH, which is follicle stimulating hormone. We have got LH, which is luteinizing hormone, and we've got estrogen. So 4 hormones already. Hopefully that's 4 if I can count right. Just hold on for a second. Anything else?
Yes,
have you got the
have
answer?
an answer. So Keketo has said it prepares the fertilized egg for implantation, and Calvin has said to cushion the embryo till labor.
Very nice. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Okay, so the endometrium wall, as we said, the endometrium wall starts building up for pregnancy. It's so that it can cushion the egg inside there, and it's going to start giving nutrients and all of that. So that was a very good answer. I'm very impressed with those answers, guys. Very, very nice. You must just keep this up, and we'll get there. Slowly but surely, we will get there. As I said, corpus luteum. Okay, remember, luteinizing hormone made into the corpus luteum. Now, the corpus luteum produces another hormone. Okay, this hormone makes that endometrium actually become, the only way I can describe it is meaty. You know, it gives it that solid structure. It makes it nice and thick and solid so that the egg can actually plant in it very, very nicely. Okay, so that is the corpus luteum. The hormone that the corpus luteum secretes, that's its job. And that hormone is progesterone. Progesterone is being produced by the corpus luteum. And as you can see, it should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That's the job of the corpus luteum. It's producing the progesterone, and as the progesterone is being produced, the wall's getting nice and thick and solid and ready for implantation. As it gets fertilized, or even if it doesn't get fertilized, it just comes along and it drops into that wall. Okay. The corpus luteum, after a while, starts fading away, right? Starts fading away. So as I've written here, progesterone will decrease. As the progesterone decreases, right, something's going to start happening. You've noticed that I've got little things like falling down here. That is called the lady's menstrual period, okay, or its cycle. It's where she starts getting rid of this endometrium wall. Now, the reason for that is if it is not fertilized, right, we need to get rid of it because it doesn't, it will become old and it doesn't give the nutrients anymore. So it's very important to get rid of all of this. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I'm just going to go for a break and hope you think about exactly what we've done because questions are coming soon. And if those questions come, hopefully you can answer them. Kat.
Awesome. Thank you. So, guys, we are going to go for an extremely short break. And this break is not only for you to get refreshed, but also to refresh your knowledge because this is a very interactive lesson. And I know that most of you are excited for reproduction because it is awesome and it's what we need to learn about. See you after the break.